Hey guys! Today we're gonna make a video on tips for first-time ESSA owners and ESSA owners in general, because these are tips that are useful for every ESSA owner, if you're first time or not. Okay, I'm gonna start with gear. Not necessary, only if you want to. It's nice to want with your ESSAs. I would advise to get lots of your stuff thrifted, because dog stuff is a very expensive thing, so yeah. Anyways, basic gear is a collar, a leash, and maybe a harness or a bag. Okay, that was my box. Don't mind that, please. This one and this one is for Nova. This one has removable patches, which you can just remove. Okay. Also, I would recommend to get some socks when you're walking them, or boots for the rain or when it's wet. And maybe a jacket or a raincoat. This is not Nova's, this is Ivy's. Nova's jacket / raincoat, still on the way. Goggles, not necessary, but nice if you don't want to get their eyes scratched. You can make them bracelets, which are just fun as an accessory. Fidgets, which I can clip on their harness or collar. PJs, because I know it's so much fun to make a sleepover with your ESSA. Just stay up all night, you know? Also, it's also very much fun to make some gear and hand make it. Like this one. It's Ivy's, of course, but yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get into grooming and caring. Okay, so don't wash your ESSAs too much or brush them too much. That's what I'm going to say at the beginning, because if you do this, they will lose their fur and get bald spots, which is not nice. No. Anyways, first of all, brushes. This one is more for longer haired ESSAs, and this one you can use for very short haired or when you've already brushed them. This one works very nicely. Or a brush like this one, which I can use for almost every kind except for very short haired ones. Then what I use when brushing them, so I don't have to wash them that often, is this spray. It is conditioner with shampoo, hair lotion, and not like gel, but not strong gel, mixed with a lot of water. So their fur stays in the right position, and yeah, you don't have to wash them that often. Just do this and brush them out. That's what I do. Also, because it's in a spray bottle, it dries up easily. So I brush my ESSAs before I gear them up. But if you're a person who only has one ESSA, which you use every day in the week, I wouldn't recommend brushing them every time you put the gear on, because that's going to be a lot. Or when you're taking them out, if you, for example, don't use gear. So I just recommend doing that if you only use your ESSA, only one ESSA. If you only use one ESSA, I just recommend brushing them out 3 to 4 times a week. But if you just have multiple ESSAs and you switch between them, brush them out before you put their gear on. Washing, you do only when it's needed. That's what I do. And I let them dry properly in air, because if you don't, they might get moldy from the inside. And please don't use the hair dryer or use it properly, because you might burn their fur. You might burn their fur. Also, this is the same for a dryer. So don't burn their fur. Anyways, now I'm gonna get into the handling tips, such as walking them or taking them out on outings. Whoa, my voice is really weird again. So when walking them, I recommend using a collar instead of walking them on a harness. Don't mind me struggling here. And then getting them a leash. Whoa, Nova, Stay, please. So don't put it on the harness, or put like this on the harness or around the body, so you can walk them like putting them up and down like this, because then you can walk them in the most realistic way and the nicest for your arms. So when walking them, put on boots or socks, please. You will get their paws very dirty, and it's not good that good for their fur. Also, taking them out on the first time, it's nice to bring them in, for example, like a bag or a tote bag, so you don't get so anxious in public. And if you don't take your ESSA out in general, this subject is not for you. I would recommend to take them out because they're for your comfort and they can really help you, but if you're too anxious, don't do it. So bring them in a tote bag. You can, for example, stick their little head out so you can still pet them, but they're hidden and you're bringing them in a more discreet way. So yeah. Also, if you're a first-time ESSA owner, please remember they can't task. They are not service dogs. There are things such as stuffed service dogs, but they only count for people with a disability. Sorry for the sounds in the back, by the way. It's my brother. And please don't make them bark at service dogs because it might really distract them. I do have to say, if you're just bringing it and not trying to specifically distract the dog, the service dog, a service dog should not be brought in public if they get distracted by just a plush being carried around. So yeah. Also, your ESSA doesn't have to be a dogless dog or a dog in general. It can be any plushie which comforts you. That is what I wanted to say in this video. Bye guys. Whoa, voice crack. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.